Okay. Let's get this going here. Let's see. This. And we'll go to here. And do. There we go. That ought to get it going. All right. Need that as a distraction. Hi, Nick. We'll be starting here in about 5 minutes. I'm just checking things, making sure everything looks the way I want it to look. And we will go from there. And plus, that gives some folks a few minutes to get in. Been so many weeks on here, I'll be surprised if I get a decent viewership. Smithy, hello, sir. Just waiting for everybody to get in. And 4 minutes, and we'll be going here. 4 minutes. Yes. Take it. There's 2 people in here. That's great. Come on, everybody. I posted it on Twitter. Ori and the Will of the Wisp. So far, it's good. I have both Ori games physical. I just personally haven't played them yet. 8th has played the first one. I don't know if he's played the second one. I've been playing a bunch of indie games lately. Well, that and Biomutant. Played a lot of Biomutant. I've beat it, but I haven't platted it yet. I'm at like 70%, I think. The rest of it's just grindy stuff, and then I'm going to have to do New Game Plus because I didn't know that there was a specific goal you had to do to get the trophy for beating one of the bosses. I just went in and beat him, and it doesn't allow you to replay the bosses. So I'm going to have to either start the whole game over or start with New Game Plus and speed run my way to the point where I can get to that boss and fight him again. I got the optional trophies and all the other ones. That was my own fault. I didn't go through the trophy list before starting the first boss fight. Who? No, I don't have the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. I had other things that I needed to buy this month, so I didn't buy it. And the Dead or Alive series, I haven't spent any time on Dead or Alive since I think it was Dead or Alive 5 on the Vita. I think it was the last time I played a Dead or Alive game. The only two that I ever spent any extensive time with was the original arcade game and Dead or Alive 2 on the Dreamcast. Do you think Switch Pro is worth the upgrade? I don't, because I don't use my Switch that much. If one comes out, I will probably get one. That way, 8th can have the new one, and then I can have the old one back in the gaming room and actually spend some more time playing all these Switch games that I bought that I haven't had a chance to play because they're always in his room. I don't even have a Switch Lite. I'd love to have a Switch Lite just to be able to, sit and play it on the go. How do you blow your background on your webcam? I recently bought a Logitech Brio. Cannot sure how to set the. It's not coming from the Logitech itself or Logitech software. It's coming from an application that I have that's called NVIDIA Broadcast. That's also why I'm not 60 frames per second anymore. This software is still in beta, and so as of right now, it only supports 30 frame, which is why I look like I'm on a TV show instead of live. but it blurs the background, or you can replace the background with any still image you want, kind of like meetings in Microsoft Teams, where you have that little function in Microsoft Teams where you can replace the background. Same principle. I don't think that it works with putting footage back there, however. I couldn't put like footage of Super Mario Brothers or something back there. I think it can only be a still image, I think. I haven't tested that to see how it works. I've just done this just to play around with it. Well, anyway, it is 6 o'clock. This is Saturday, June 12th, 2021, and this is the 7th Cast. As always, I'm your venerable host, your friendly neighborhood 7th. 8th is in his room, I'm sure, playing Ratchet and Clank. And that's about it. What NVIDIA card do you have? I have a 2060 Super. 8th has a 3080, and he has the 3080 model that's like 32 teraflops. It's like this beast. But I'm rocking a 2060 Super, which the 2060 Super is somewhere in that Xbox Series X, PS5 range. It's somewhere around in there somewhere. It can be videos. Okay. 8th, I thought you were playing Ratchet and Clank. So, speaking of Ratchet and Clank, it arrived yesterday. Uh, 8th always gets first dibs on new stuff that comes in. And so I have not personally played it. I sat and watched him play it for several hours. And I spent the whole time with my jaw on the floor. We started it from the get go in the performance plus ray tracing mode, and it is astounding. It is astounding. It's not running native 4K, but damn, you wouldn't know it. It looks sharp. It looks crisp. It hardly ever drops below 60. There's like a couple of instances that last half a second where it'll drop during a transition or whatnot. The rest of the time, the frame rate stays rock solid. The ray tracing is all over the place. Absolutely beautiful game. Uh, as of right now, keep in mind, I have witnessed the Demon Souls remake. As of right now, Ratchet and Clank Rift in Time is the best looking console game I have ever seen. Period. Absolutely, without question. And the way that the SSD is utilized in teleporting yourself to other parts of the map, instantly loading into entirely different environments, instantly loading into different versions of parallel universe versions of the same environment with like no loading at all. It's just snap, you're there. Snap, you're there. It's astounding. This is the first game of this generation that really shows you something that gives you an idea of what this generation can do. And whereas Demon Souls certainly looked next gen in the quality of its graphics, this is the first game, I think, that truly says this is a next gen title that in no way could have been done on the previous hardware. And there's no way. It absolutely could not have been done on the PS4 Pro. Not even close. Because of the dimension mechanic. It would not have been able to load this stuff that fast. It left me speechless. It really did. I mean, the gameplay looks as sharp as it ever did. 8th could tell you more about how it feels. What do you mean volume mic? I've already got the mic maxed. I can't really put it that much over maximum volume than it is. Why don't you turn your volume up? So anyone that's ever liked an old one of the previous Ratchet and Clank games, this has pretty much every mechanic that was in all the games that led up to this one. You've got the rocket boots, you've got the gravity boots, you have all these different mechanics, and it has new ones added in on top of that. So far, the only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't have Mr. Zircon. I mean, he's in the game, but so far you can't buy Mr. Zircon and have him flying around with you. His family he has a family now, and his family has started their own store, and that's who you buy all your weapons from. And instead, you have this thing called Mr. Fungi, which is this little flying mushroom that flies around and also uh, spits out little quippy one-liners, but he's just not as fun as Mr. Zircon. He's not as funny. Let's see here. Seventh, are you excited for Black Myth Wulong game based on Journey to the West? Not really. There's been so many dadgum Journey to the West games at this point. How many times? How many? Did they not have any other animal heroes that they could make games or movies about? Why is it always Monkey King? You know, I've probably got half a dozen Monkey King games as it is. So no, I'm not all that excited about it. I've played. Well, I'm sorry, I am the gamer. You're the only one that's having a problem. Apparently, no one else is having a problem hearing me. I'm watching my volume monitor on the mixer, and I'm hitting into the yellow, so I know my volume on my mic's not too low. Seventh, how do you think 1980s you would have reacted to today's games? I don't know. I really don't know because I never envisioned it getting to the level that it is now until probably PS2 era. And I was like, if these graphics keep getting better and better each gen, eventually we're going to be playing live Pixar movies. And that's what Ratchet and Clank is. It looks like you are playing a live Pixar movie, and especially if you go for the full fidelity mode or whatever, and you're playing it at a locked 30 frames per second, that straight up makes it look like a movie because the movies use 24 frames per second, so using that gives it that video look. But trust me, 60 frames looks way better, way smoother. But the level of detail, all the enemies, even the enemies, you can go into photo mode and zoom in on them, and the detail to the enemies is just as high as it is on Ratchet or Rivet or whoever. The humor is the same. Dr. Nefarious is still, spouting the same one-liners. He's still funny. It's got the same sense of humor that it's always had. There is no wokeness to it. There's when you're playing as Rivet, there's no girl power crap or trying to make you think that Rivet is in some way superior to Ratchet or any of that. She's just his other dimension counterpart. Just like Clank has another dimension counterpart that's a female robot named Kit. Now, Kit does have more power than Ratchet, but that's because Kit was built to be a war machine. So when she loses her temper or whatever, she morphs into this giant killer instinct robot, the Iron Giant style. But as far as Ratchet and Clank go, they're pretty much they're almost just like a skin flip, and because they both play exactly the same, and when you unlock a weapon for one of them, the other one instantly gets it. So yeah, the music's astounding too. The music's astounding. No, I have not heard it in 3D because I currently don't have a sound system in the game room that supports that kind of 3D. Don't know that I'll ever afford to do that. But and plus my game room is this big cavernous room with vaulted ceilings. So there's already kind of an echo in there, and I rent, I don't own, so it's not like I can put up soundproofing foam all over the game room. So there's already kind of an echo, and so I don't really know how well a big surround sound audio system would sound in there to begin with. But even if you are not uh, even if you are not a fan of mascot style platformers, you this is still one you need to try out because the gameplay in it is just fantastic. Uh, the weapon variety, the actual combat and everything. This is something that they have down to a science at Insomniac. And Insomniac was always considered a good studio before, excluding a couple of games they've put out over the years. But this and what they've done with Spider-Man puts them right up there in the top tier of at least console-centric developers that are out there right now. It's uh, in fact, as of right now, I have to put them at least as high, if not higher, than Naughty Dog because they've shown that they are able to put out multiple games in different genres successfully, whereas Naughty Dog has two teams, but they had to cram both of them together just to get The Last of Us 2 out the door. I know Clank could do a giant robot in one of the games, but it's not something he does in every game. Like for example, you never see him do it in A Crack in Time, for example. I know there was like one game where there was a storyline to it where he could turn into a bigger robot, but not like this. Not like this. They made the series too kiddie. It still has adult humor in it. It still has adult humor in it. They just stopped giving them uh, more perverted subtitles like "Up Your Arsenal" and "Going Commando," etc., etc. They stopped doing that, but the actual in-game humor is the same that it's ever been in those games. Bringing back Resistance would be a good idea because as of right now, Sony does not have a first party exclusive first person shooter. And so uh you've got Halo coming, you know, and now that Microsoft owns like, id and Machine Gun Games, they're going to have uh multiple first person shooters on their system. So Sony, what they really need to do, I know Guerrilla Games has two studios. There's Guerrilla and Guerrilla Cambridge. And of course we already know that Insomniac has multiple studios. They ought to completely reboot Killzone and Resistance so that we have at least two first-person shooter titles to go to, if that kind of thing floats your boat. I mean, I've kind of gotten burnt out on first person shooters over the years. I couldn't tell you the last time I played one all the way through, except for maybe I think it was Borderlands 3 was the last time I played all the way through a first person shooter. What was the better vehicle between the Mako and the Warthog? I'm asking the wrong guy. In your opinion, do you think Fortnite is dying? I'd like that to happen. I'm not a fan of that series. Thoughts on Final Fantasy VII Intergrade? Will you get it? I'm not spending any money on it right now. Thoughts on Final Fantasy 16? They're moving farther and farther away with each release from traditional Final Fantasy gameplay. For me, they don't even feel like Final Fantasy games anymore. Do you have the Family Guy game for PS2? No, I used to have the PS3 game, but I sold it years ago because it just wasn't very good. Did I watch the Ubisoft event? No, I did not. Do you still play JRPGs? Yes. I beat Trails of Cold Steel a few weeks ago. I didn't plat it, but I beat it. It seems like with the success Ratchet and Clank, I see Sly Cooper coming soon. Well, they'd really have to. I don't know that I would trust Sly Cooper with a different studio because uh, Sly Cooper 4 was made by someone other than Sucker Punch. And I mean, it was passable, but for the most part, it wasn't very good. And so I wouldn't want to see a Sucker Punch from anybody other than. I wouldn't want to see a Sly Cooper from anyone other than Sucker Punch. But you know they would have to have the Naughty Dog and Insomniac treatment, and have Sony invest some money in them to split them into two teams, so they could work on multiple games. I wish they'd do that anyway, so we could get the Infamous 3 that we didn't get. I wanted to see one more game with Cole McGrath, or at least give us a game where the gameplay was split between using Cole McGrath and the other guy from Second Son, Delson Rowe or whatever. It seems like with the success of Ratchet, I already read that. Hey, Seven, thoughts on the Dragon Quest III remake? Honestly, I didn't know they were remaking it. Hi, Callum. Can you imagine what Jack and Daxter and Sly Cooper would look like if Naughty Dog and Sucker Punch took another crack at them? Well, we can already kind of imagine Jack and Daxter because Naughty Dog showed off the art and it was all, you know, darker and grittier and less cartoony, and I didn't like it. Hi, Raymond. What's your favorite holiday? Christmas. It used to be rated T, now it just feels like a kid's movie. I don't know what to tell you. They never were all that dirty to begin with outside of their titles. They had the same level of humor as a DreamWorks movie. They were typically on the level of a Megamind as far as the adult level of the humor, and that's what they are now. There's still little adult off-color jokes here and there. You just got to be paying attention when they happen. Crack in Time was full of them. So was Into the Nexus. I haven't played that much of the remake of the first game, but Wolfenstein was good. Oh, Youngblood was terrible. I know Eighth, but it wasn't in every game. It wasn't, like I don't remember any instance of a crack in time where Clank could transform into a giant robot and tear shit up. Didn't Cambridge close down? I don't know if they did or not. I don't know if they did or not. I'd have to go back and look. I played about 5 minutes of Bug Snacks. Its frame rate was all over the place. The gameplay was really stupid, so I turned it off. Did you like the Baldur's Gate games? I liked the original PC games, and I liked Dark Alliance 1 and 2 a lot. I have not bought the re release of Dark Alliance because they didn't do enough to make it any better than the PS2 version. So that wasn't the $30 that I wanted to spend. If it was $15, I might buy it digitally. Cole died, so that's not possible. Depends on the ending you got. If you got the ending where he goes all, they're taking him out to sea, and then like right at the last second, lightning strikes the boat, implying that he came back to life. And they did that intentionally so that should they choose to have another Cole McGrath game, they could. 8th, you must have seen something in Second Son that I missed because I don't remember talking to Cole McGrath in Second Son. Must have been a cutscene I missed or something. Let's see here. I like the Easter eggs of Sly and Jack and Rift Apart. Who knows? There could be Sly or Jack game in development right now. I kind of doubt it. I think we would have heard about it by now. Do you remember Cynthia Rothrock? Yeah, she made a bunch of really low budget kung fu movies back in the 80s and 90s. I never was a fan. She kicked ass, but she was great at action scenes, not so great in the actual acting part, and the movies just didn't have the money behind them that some of her counterparts of the day had behind their flicks. Most of her stuff, looked and felt like direct-to-video stuff, and a lot of it was. Do you wish to see a new traditional Splinter Cell game? Never was all that into the Splinter Cell series. Hoping Medieval gets the same treatment. Well, I mean, they remade Medieval. It came out, what was it, 8th last year? They gave it a full graphical upgrade. The problem is that they didn't really update the actual gameplay all that much. And that's a game whose gameplay did not age very well. Now, if you want to see and feel, I have not personally played it, but if you want to see and feel what an updated medieval might look and play like, there is a game that's currently on sale on PSN right now. You can also get it on PC, and I'm assuming it's on Xbox too. But on PSN, it's currently on sale for $20. It's called Pumpkin Jack. So if you really love Medieval, and you wish there was another Medieval game to play, go check out Pumpkin Jack. That might scratch the itch you're looking for. Thoughts on the upcoming Age of Empires 4? I was not big into the Age of Empires series. Those kind of real-time strategy games, I never really got into them that much. I can remember playing the first Command and Conquer, the original World of Warcraft, a ripoff of World of Warcraft that was called War of the Ring or something like that. It was Lord of the Rings based. Dune and Dune 2. That's it. And the original Dune wasn't a real-time strategy game. It was more of a PC style RPG kind of thing. It was an odd game, but I really liked it. It was ported to Sega CD, but it wasn't very good on Sega CD. Did you or 8th Platinum Medieval? I didn't even finish it because I didn't like the feel of the controls. You call Cole McGrath in a series of side quests. I don't remember that. Since those old 7thCasts are privated, could you tell us about the grandmother that would always call you Turd? That was my grandmother on my mother's side. Her name was Virginia. Everyone called her Virgie. And when my grandfather died of cancer before I was born, my parents insisted that she move in with them so they could keep an eye on her. And so I basically had two moms for most of my life. I was like 23 when she died. I could have moved out way sooner than that, but my mom she made me promise that I wouldn't move out until my grandmother had passed away. So I promised to stick around. So, I stayed in that basement until I was 23, and then my grandmother died, and 2 weeks later, I was in an apartment. I went out, got an apartment, and I moved out. Uh, and right around that same time, my parents moved to Tampa. I stayed in Tennessee for about a year, and then the company I was working for offered me a relocation to Jacksonville, Florida. I'd always wanted to live in Florida, so I took it. And I haven't lived in Tennessee since. Is Zaire still on YouTube? As far as I know, I don't know. I don't know what kind of PC he has. I never watched him to begin with. Yeah, I heard about the GameStop poster. I love Pumpkin Jack. Such an underrated gem. Got it on Steam last October. It's an impressive use of Unreal by one dev. Yeah, uh, I would like to have that game, but I was kind of hoping that Limited Run would do a physical release of it. So I've been kind of putting off buying it. Have you played Neverwinter Nights? I played the original. I haven't played the newer one that's available on both PC and consoles, but I've played the original. Thoughts on cancel culture and the effect on the video game industry? Dude, that's something that I've talked about for years on here. There's not a whole lot I could say to elaborate on the opinions I've already given. How's it going, wannabe? Why did you make the old cast private? I made the old cast private when I moved over to Twitch, and I just haven't seen a whole reason to bring them back because the stuff that's in them is so old. Who's going to want to sit through 3 hours to find the 1 5-minute clip of me talking about something? Well, obvious. Elden Ring looks good, but keep in mind that From Software is more of an eighth thing than it is a me thing. You guys, it's not that I can't play those types of games. Uh, and I was actually talking to Eighth about this earlier today. You guys have to realize it with those Souls-like games. It's all about get a couple of hits in, dodge, parry, block, blah blah blah, and memorize patterns. Back in my day, I grew up during the heyday uh, of the two greatest eras of arcade gaming, which was the first era, which is stuff like Galaga and things like that, and the second era, which was when fighting games came in, and even more so than fighting games, multiplayer beat 'em ups. So aside from the stuff I was playing at home like Mega Man and Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that, most of what I played growing up when I was building my gaming skill were button mashers. And so I tend to lean farther away from games like Dark Souls and more towards stuff like God of War, Devil May Cry, things like that. And even those, you're not going to get very far button mashing, but that's the kind of combat style in a third person style game that I tend to prefer. And so when I go into a game like Dark Souls, if I force myself to play it the way it's supposed to be played, I can do fine. However, I don't enjoy myself. I just find it slow and tedious. And so I can do it, but I don't enjoy it because I don't like the whole, strafe around, watching the patterns of the boss, wait for your one window, hit him, get this tiny little sliver of his health gone, then dodge out of the way of all of his attacks and repeat. I don't like it. It takes forever. It's just not for me. Now, even in the 8 and 16-bit eras, yes, you were having to learn to memorize boss patterns and dodge their attacks and whatnot, but it was in 2 dimensions and it was all done a lot faster. These games are built to test your patience. And at 46 years old, when I've got a whole wall of other stuff that I can be playing, there's just there's other things I'd rather be playing because the gameplay style of those don't cater to me. I like fast frenetic stuff. And Devil May Cry, God of War, but even the new God of War has a sort of uh, dark soulish element to its gameplay. It's not as combo heavy and aerial combat and whatnot heavy as the original God of War trilogy was. So apparently, Sucker Punch said that Cole did die in the second ending, and that's the official ending. Well, yeah, they said that, and that is the official ending. But at the end of that ending, lightning strikes the boat. So yeah, he was dead. He did die. They're telling the truth there, and then lightning struck the boat. Hi, 16-bit Pete. Sorry, Pete. I'm not going to be at Retropalooza this year. I'm just not going to have the money, man. We have a new dog. That new dog has to have surgery in either July or August, both to get spayed, and the dog has a hernia that has to be replaced, or not replaced, repaired. And that's going to take such a chunk out of my bank account that, getting together the 200 and some odd dollars I'd need for the hotel, the food, the gas, and be able to spend some money there and have a good time, I'm just not going to be able to swing it this year. It's just not going to happen. So, sorry about that. Once you move to Texas, if you want to come down and hang out one weekend, we can arrange that. But it's looking like Retropalooza for me anyway is going to have to be a next year thing. Why does Sony keep skipping E3? Because they decided that it doesn't benefit them anymore when they can just put on their own show. With PlayStation exclusives coming to PC, Xbox exclusives all on PC, cloud console gaming services on PC. Will PC gaming replace consoles? No. Eventually, PC gaming won't be what you think of as it stands anymore, because once internet speeds get to the point where all of the graphical rendering can be done on the cloud, even PCs won't be PCs anymore. Everything will be streaming. I mean, think about it. They already have all of their work production stuff cloud-based. Gaming going cloud-based is only a matter of time. So there will be no more, I need the newest processor, I need the newest graphics card, blah, 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 because all of that will be done over the cloud. And all you're going to need is something to interface with that connection. Just a little box with a keyboard plugged into it and a mouse. I'm just saying. May not be 20 years from now, but it's coming. Get ready for it. And console gaming is going to be going that way too. Hey, 7th, it's been a while. I hit 1,000 subs. Good for you, man. What's worse for your stomach, White Castle or Taco Bell? I have not had White Castle. I had the southern version of White Castle, Crystals. We called them gut bombs because they'd give you the shits. And so would Taco Bell. Taco Bell give you the shits. They're about the same insofar as gastric distress. Thoughts on Genshin Impact? Haven't played it. I haven't played it. I feel the new God of War would have been better if that punk kid was not in it. He took a little getting used to, but I didn't mind him after a while. He-Bot is mad that Ratchet and Clank did well. Of course he is. Because he's He-Bot. There's always next year, buddy. I know, I know. I'm just disappointed because, I haven't been on the road in a long time and I enjoy travel. And I haven't been anywhere since Retropalooza Arlington uh, in what, 2019? So going on 2 years, and I'm starting to get a little antsy. I need to get out on the road. I don't think the speed of the genre is the only thing keeping you from playing them. If that was the case, you would enjoy Neo. Neo is faster than Dark Souls, but I still don't think, having watched you play it, that it's at the speed that I'm talking about. I play a third person action game like that. I want to go in and just devastate shit like I can in the old school God of War games. Hi, 7th. Hi, Master Chief Snake. How long will physical games last, in your opinion? Uh, they could potentially last into the next generation after this one, but I don't think. I think that would be as far as it'll go. I think. They're already trying to encourage you to do everything digital now. And they started getting you used to it the last two gens. You had, the Xbox Live Arcade, PSN. So they've spent the last two generations getting you used to the idea of playing your games digitally, either through streaming or downloading them to your local device. So they've already been conditioning you for going on 20 years to play games digitally instead of buying physical media. So I think there's a possibility that there could still be physical media next generation after this one, but I really don't see it going any farther than that. The fact that there's still physical movies in production at this point is shocking to me. Because they're not selling. They're not selling very well, especially 4K Blu-ray. All you have to do is go into a store like Best Buy or Walmart. Their physical media section gets smaller every year. Do you think people are stupid threatening Alana Pierce about God of War delayed and on PS4? It's going to be a great game. Who cares? It's on. Yes, it's stupid to threaten anybody over anything. And I don't agree with what Sony is doing. I think next gen games should be next gen games. But this has been an unusual console launch, probably the most unique console launch in gaming history. And with the hardware shortages that they're having, they need to be able to continue getting revenue off the games, and that means, relying more on the going on 120 million or 122, whatever it is now, PS4s out there, than it does counting on the 8 point whatever PS5s are out there. They got to keep the revenue coming in. I wish Santa Monica had gone with Egypt instead of Norse mythology. Well, you look across the aisle and Assassin's Creed, the last two games, what have they been? Egyptian and Norse. So, this time around they beat uh, Assassin's Creed to the punch with the Norse stuff, but at the time the God of War was coming out, they'd already done Egypt and they'd done Greece. So, no, I haven't played Ghost Runner. I collect for Atari Jaguar still because it holds sentimental value to me being a 90s kid. Still have my. Well, I have a Jaguar and a 3DO sitting on the shelf there, but they're also my smallest libraries. I only have like five 3DO games and five or six Jaguar games. I just. I don't know why. I just haven't collected very much for those. When I go to Retropalooza, I'm looking for NES carts, SNES, Genesis, and TurboGrafx 16 for the most part. On my laptop now. I've been playing the SOCOM games on PSP. PSP. Mm-hmm. Man, I spent a lot of time playing on PSP back in the day because at the time that the PSP came out, uh, I lived out in the middle of nowhere in Florida. And so it was always at a minimum a half hour drive to get from work to home. And not even getting into all the time that I spent doing field work where I'd be gone for a week because I was in some other town doing something not IT related. Yeah, I was always carrying a console around with me and a handheld. So, one week I'd have the PSP and the Dreamcast, one week I'd have PS2 and a DS. So I spent a lot of time back in the day on PSP. Not as much on Vita, although by the time Vita came out, within a year of Vita coming out, was when I started working third shift again. And so not a whole lot goes on third shift. You're just monitoring servers. And so I'd sit there and play Vita all night, waiting for something to happen. What do you want from Xbox E3 tomorrow? I don't know. Ubisoft had almost nothing that interested me today. I didn't watch any of it. I have no idea what they showed. I never gave a rat crap for handheld consoles. I didn't own a Game Boy for the longest time because I didn't care about them either. And I didn't really start getting into real, handheld gaming until the Game Boy Advance. I had a Game Boy and I had a handful of games for it, but I didn't use it that much. So I didn't really start spending a serious amount of time playing handheld games until Game Boy Advance came around. And even then, I didn't play it that much until the SP model with the backlight came out. Because let me tell you something, playing on the original Advance sucked. Without that backlight, it sucked. Once the SP came out, I loved it, but I hated playing on the original Advance because you had to have the lighting just right to be able to see it good. They showed an Avatar first person game. Oh, God. I'm surprised they were given that license back after the first Avatar game they made. That first Avatar game, I mean, it had its moments, but for the most part, it was a piece of crap. I think I still have it on PS3. I barely played it. I started playing it and I'm like, oh man, this sucks. I turned it off. I have a bunch of handhelds. I don't have every handheld ever made. Like, for example, I don't have an Atari Lynx, but I've got a Game Boy Color, a Game Boy Advance, a Game Boy SP, a DS, a 3DS, a 3DS XL, Sony PSP, multiple Vitas, multiple PSPs actually, uh, Neo Geo Pocket Color, Game Gear, Sega Nomad. I don't have a Turbo Express. I don't have the Microvision from way back in the early '80s. And again, I don't have an Atari Lynx. Otherwise, that and a Game Boy Micro. I don't have a Game Boy Micro, but otherwise I have pretty much every handheld. Oh, and I don't have a Wonder Swan, but they never really sold those in the States anyway to any great degree. So, Neo Geo Pocket Color, all that stuff. I've got almost every handheld ever made that was released in the US. And honestly, one of my favorite ones is the Nomad because I just dug the hell out of uh, popping my Nomad in my travel bag and then dumping a bunch of Genesis carts in. And when I was on the road, I could just plug it into the wall, no batteries needed, and I just sit there and play Shining Force and stuff. Ever heard of Lars Matank? Do you think they'll? I don't know who that is. How come you don't bash on PlayStation now? I bash on PlayStation if they release a game that sucks or if they do something stupid. What are you talking about? Thoughts on for Horizon Forbidden West gameplay? It just looks like to me. It just looks like prettier Horizon Zero Dawn gameplay. Had a Game Boy Pocket. I mean, you had the little quick time cutscene event, whatever you want to call it, but core gameplay didn't look all that different. It just graphically looked more impressive. Had a Game Boy Pocket Green in '96. Got an SNES and Genesis from yard sales. Got Jaguar Christmas of '98 because the 64 was too much money. I bought the PlayStation 1 and the N64 at the same time, around 1997, I guess. At that time, all I had was a Saturn because I had traded in my previous systems to get the Saturn. So I well, not traded in. I sold. I sold my Sega Genesis, my Sega CD, my Super Nintendo, my NES. I sold them all to be able to get the Saturn because it was $500. It was $499 or whatever. No, it was $399. It was $399, and I sold all that stuff to get it. And so I didn't have to pay a red cent for the console when it came out, and I got a couple of games. I got Daytona USA and Clockwork Knight, I think. And so I spent from 1995 till around 1997 playing nothing but Saturn. And then I got a better job, a higher paying job, and I had gotten out on my own. And so one day on my way home from work, I was like, you know what? And I stopped in at the mall and I just walked in and bought a PlayStation and an N64 and like 5 games for each and walked out. Because by that point, Saturn was pretty much dead. There wasn't anything new coming out for it. I had gone a few weeks earlier to Toys R Us, and they had huge bargain bins full of Saturn games, and I had just bought tons of Saturn games out of this bargain bin. And not crappy ones either, good stuff like Fighters Mega Mix and a bunch of other stuff. And so at that point, my Saturn library was huge. I didn't have every Saturn game, but I had all the best ones, all the ones that are hard to find now. And I've bought some of them back, but my Saturn library is not even a hint of what it originally was. Not even close. Why was Avatar so successful? Novelty. You know, it was the rebirth of modern 3D in theaters, so it was something new for everyone to try out. And nothing had ever been seen like that on the level of CG in movies before, so it was a novelty. Certainly wasn't for the story or the acting. What I meant was you bash Xbox all the time because Xbox is the one that screws up the most. Typically, Sony's been making some mistakes lately, but for the last several years, it's been Xbox this and Xbox that. If you got a problem with it, go watch someone else. Did you and Eighth like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night? I'm sure Colt Eastwood would love your view. Do you think Bloodstained Ritual of the Night? I have Bloodstained. I haven't finished it. I got the bad ending where you kill the guy instead of get the book, and so it you only finish like the first layer, the first castle and not the second castle. Kind of like with Symphony of the Night. If you don't do things right, you don't get the second reversed castle. You only get the first one. I got the bad ending because I didn't know you were supposed to do something different with the book. And so I just killed the guy, and that was it. That was the end. Never went back to it to do the rest of it for some reason. Do you think Avatar would have been better as a TV series? Not really. I don't know if there was enough story there to turn it into a series without it being boring. Have you ever... And plus, back then, I don't think you would have had... You were just getting into the era of big budget shit like Game of Thrones around when that movie came out. So I don't know that with the way Jim Cameron is, I don't know that he would have been able to get the budget he wanted to make a series on that level. I played Zone of the Enders 1. I never got around to Zone of the Enders 2. There's a rumored event on June 28th for Sony to reveal PSVR 2. And they need to not be worrying so much about PSVR 2 and just show games. If I were them, I'd wait another year before showing off PSVR 2. People can't even get a PS5 right now. Not because they can't afford it, but because they can't find one. Not a good time to be showing off PSVR 2. How are these insiders able to spew out fake rumors and no one calls them out? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just like, uh, it's just like with the movies, like that Mike Zero guy who does Star Wars rumors, and they're 9 out of 10 of his videos are flat out lies, and he can get away with it because he says this is just a rumor before going into whatever it is that he's saying. I mean, at this point, he's been saying that Kathleen Kennedy was fired for over 2 years now. You know? And I'm sure her contract will eventually be let go and she won't be with the company anymore. But he's been saying Kathleen Kennedy fired, confirmed for 2 years. And then just says, by the way, this is rumor. That's how they do it. They'll say this outlandish crap to get you to watch their video, and then they'll say, oh, by the way, this is rumor. I mean, honestly, the closest one that comes to any level of accuracy with the things that he talks about would probably be Doomcock. And even then, every video he does, take this with a heavy grain of salt. This is just a rumor. But the thing I like, I still watch Doomcock just because he's funny. Mike Zero, there's no entertainment value there at all. Please subscribe to me for future Star Wars content. Boring. At least Doomcock gives you something to watch, something to laugh at. He has an actual personality. Mike Zero is a non-entity. At this rate, I'm going to be playing Battlefield 6 on console because of GPU shortages. Well, you know what? The only way that I was able to get a 3080 was I had to custom order a built PC from CyberPower. And then as soon as we got that custom built PC from CyberPower, 8th stripped it apart and built himself a new computer with the parts that he wanted, and then took the old parts out of his previous computer, mixed them with some of the parts of the one we just ordered from CyberPower, and built the computer that I'm on right now. I needed a new computer anyway, because the one that I was using was on its last legs. So for the price that I paid, we ended up with 2 new computers out of it. So it seemed like the easiest route to go, and that was the only way that I could get hold of a 3080. I wasn't going to spend no $1,500-$1,600 on a GPU, and all it was going to benefit was 8th having better graphics. If I was going to be spending that level of money, I needed to be able to upgrade my system and upgrade his. So that's the reason that I did it the way I did it. Oh, Mike Zero, way more. Shadow DS, without question. Without question. By the way, because of the fact that I'm on this new system, I have not had an opportunity to reconfigure my Stream Deck and get all that working yet. So all my little 1 hour left, 2 hours left graphics aren't working right now. Just letting you know that because we're about to hit the 7 o'clock mark. Do you agree that the Switch was a band-aid for for the Wii U? The Switch was not a band-aid for the Wii U because if it was a it was the direction they had to go to stay solvent because they killed their console market. The Wii U killed their console market. The only market they had left that was making money was the handheld market. And so they figured out really quick, hey, what we can do is we can just put out another handheld. All the people that buy our handhelds every generation will buy it, but we'll give it the same kind of transferable functionality that the Vita had through the PlayStation TV, and we'll tell everybody it's a console that you can take on the go, when in reality it's a handheld that you can plug into your TV. So what the Switch is clever marketing. That's what it is. Herman Hulse said there's 25 games in development and half are new IP and the other is existing series. Well, we'll see. What do you think of the Xbox Series X? Not much because I don't have one. I've said before I don't like digital distribution. I don't agree with it, and that's the direction that they're going with their console. I mean, I know you can buy physical games for it, but that's really what they're pushing, and I don't agree with that market. Uh, that being said, I'm not going to review a system that I do not own. I've got just a little bit more integrity than that. Integrity from Integrity Farms. But, once I have an Xbox Series X in my hands, then I'll talk more about Xbox Series X. But currently I don't have one. All I have is an Xbox One X, which is really, as far as its functionality and everything, is a slower, weaker Xbox Series X. So I could talk about a lot of the games. I can't talk about the medium, but I can certainly talk about Game Pass. I have a Game Pass account on my One X. I couldn't tell you the last time I logged into it and used it. Shadow DS, the Switch is a handheld you plug into your TV. Period. The only difference, Shadow DS, between a Switch and a Vita. Now, I'm not talking about library, but as far as the functionality it gives you, the only difference between the original model Switch and the Vita is processing power and the removable Joy-Cons. Other than that, it's the Vita 2.0. Has all the same features. In fact, the Vita has more features than the Switch does to this day. Was the Vita both a handheld and a console? No. It was a handheld that, with a little additional extra device, just like the dock, you could play Vita games on your TV. Well, that's another thing. In regards to Ratchet and Clank, that's probably, according to Eighth, because remember, I haven't played it, Eighth has. Eighth says that that's probably the best implementation of the haptic feedback and the trigger system in the DualSense of any game that's been released so far. That it really puts what the DualSense can do to good use. Xbox only exclusive medium is coming to PlayStation 5. Well, I told you guys that a year ago before the game even came out. I told you that that the developers pretty much came out and said that it was going to be a timed exclusive. There was a Monster Hunter for Vita. I have it on my shelf right now. The problem is it's an import. It's from Japan, and you can't connect to the Japanese servers to play it, and it's all in Japanese, so you can't read it. But I do own it. It was gifted to me by my friend Brian. But yeah, I've got it sitting on my shelf right now. No, I don't think Sony's going to be double dipping into a proprietary handheld. I think at this point they would be looking to mimic Microsoft and put their games on mobile rather than coming out with a handheld. I will Soul Sacrifice for the Vita. I have Soul Sacrifice. I haven't played it that much. As far as JRPGs go on the Vita, my personal favorite was probably Tales of Hearts R. Vita has Bluetooth and a web browser. Yes, it does. And also, it had better voice capabilities and chat stuff than the Switch does. Uh, it had a lot of features that the Switch doesn't have. Yes, the Switch has a bigger screen. Yes, the Switch has more processing power. And yes, the Switch has a better library. Maybe not a bigger library. I don't know. I've never stopped to count. But, it has bigger heavy hitters than the Vita did. But as far as functionality and feature set and everything, the Vita has the Switch beat. I jailbroke my Vita. It was awesome. I used to have a jailbroke PSP, and I had every emulator you could imagine on that thing. And so I'd be sitting on the road playing TurboGrafx and NES games on my PSP. It was great. Another great thing about the Vita is that privacy has preserved nearly 100% of its game library. Yeah, yeah. By the way, it's 7 o'clock. Uh, we have 2 hours left. There have been zero donations. And just to remind everybody, 3 hour podcast, extendable by donation. If we hit $50, I stay till 10. 75, I stay till 11. $100 and up, I stay till midnight. We have had nothing. Nada. Not a red cent. Grab a Vita and the Vita TV while you still can. I have two. We have two Vitas. No, three. We have three Vitas. Two of the original model and one of the second generation model, and we have a PlayStation TV out in storage somewhere. So we're all good there. I grabbed a PlayStation TV back when they were put on clearance and you could get them for $20 a piece. Nice little piece of kit, really. It doesn't support all the games, but it supports most of the ones that you'd give a crap about. And even the ones that it doesn't support, you can download pirated copies of those games and run them through. If I'm not mistaken, you can run them through PlayStation TV through hacking, and you can configure them to not use the back touch screen so that you can play them anyway. So, if you want to do it bad enough, you can do it. Of course, if you're going to be doing piracy, why play them on the PSTV when you just play them on PC with a controller? Dude, wannabe, can you with all the different things that the DualSense can do, can you imagine the build quality of third-party controllers? They would be terrible. I have never had a decent third-party PlayStation controller, not one. They have always been garbage from every brand that I've ever tried, from PlayStation 2 all the way up to PlayStation 4. I've started collecting PS3 games. I got a second PS3 with GTA 4, Tomb Raider Collection, Tomb Raider 2013, Max Payne 3, Madden 11, and Red Dead Redemption. I have, as of right now, over 150 PS3 games. Let me look and see what my current PS3 library size is. Let me just pull up my Game Eye here. Current overall library size, like all my physical games, is 1,913. So I'm getting close to 2,000 games in my collection. PlayStation 3. 162. I have 162 PlayStation 3 games. Really 161. No, actually, it's really 160 because two of my big boys, the second former Mrs. Seventh, took them with her when she moved out and just left me the boxes. And so I have to replace the discs. And unfortunately, one of the ones that she took is one of the rarer PS3 games. And she didn't even keep them. She sold them to GameStop. I was really pissed when I found out about that. I mean, at least if she had kept them, I could have offered her cash to buy them back from her. But she traded them in to GameStop. And one of them was Africa. So I have the case to Africa, but I don't have the disc to Africa. And I don't want to spend $100 to rebuy that disc. Because, yeah, it's valuable, but the game itself is garbage. Oh, need to mute my mics, mute my speakers. $10 from Itzo. Thank you, $10. And use the Streamlabs so I get it instantly. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. From Izo or Itzo or however you pronounce it. Here, check it out. Since we don't have any other topics to talk about, I'm going to read to you my entire PlayStation 3 physical library. 3D Dot Game Heroes, Aliens Colonial Marines, Alpha Protocol, Arno Surge, Arno Teleco, Assassin's Creed 3, Atelier Aisha, Atelier Miruro, Atelier Rorona, Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham Origins Collector's Edition, Ben 10 Ultimate, Bioshock, Borderlands, Borderlands 2, Brutal Legend, Bulletstorm, Burnout Paradise, Call of Duty Black Ops, Castlevania Lords of Shadow, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, Cross Edge, CSI Crime Scene, Dante's Inferno, Dark Void, Dead Island, Dead Space 2, Dead Space 3. Here's one of the other ones she kept. Deadly Premonition Director's Cut, Deadpool, Demon Souls, Devil May Cry HD Collection, Disgaea 3, Disgaea 4, Disgaea D2, Doom 3 BF3 Edition, Dragon's Crown, Drakengard 3, Eye of Judgment, Fairy Fencer F, Fallout New Vegas, Final Fantasy X and X2, Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13 2 Collector's Edition, Folklore, Ghostbusters the Video Game, God of War Collection, God of War 3 Collector's Edition, God of War Origins, God of War Ascension, Gran Turismo 5, Grand Theft Auto 4, Guided Fate Paradox, Haze, Heavenly Sword, Heavy Rain, Hot Shots Golf, Hyperdimension Neptunia, Hyperdimension Neptunia 2, or whatever it was called, Infamous, Infamous 2, Jack and Daxter Collection, 007 Bloodstone, Just Cause 2, Killzone, Killzone 3, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD, Kingdom Hearts HD, Kingdoms of Amalur. Oh, and that Kingdom Hearts HD was the collector's edition with the little plush of darkness that came with it. Lair, Last Rebellion, Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2. Lego Harry Potter Years 5 to 7. Lego Rock Band. I don't know why I still have that. I don't have any of the Rock Band instruments anymore. Leisure Suit Larry, Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13. Little Big Planet Karting, Little Big Planet Game of the Year Edition, Little Big Planet 2 Special Edition. And no, I don't have the Sackboy plush that came with it anymore. 8th lost it. Lollipop Chainsaw, Lord of the Rings, Aragorn's Quest, Lost, Via Domus, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Mass Effect Trilogy, Medieval Moves, Mercenaries 2, Metal Gear Solid 4, Mod Nation Racer, Motorstorm, Motorstorm Apocalypse, Motorstorm Pacific Rift, Mugen Souls Z, Ni no Kuni, Nier, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, Painkiller, Hell and Damnation, which is currently worth $400. Why? Why is Painkiller for PS3 worth $400? Anyway, it's on my shelf. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. No, that's one of the ones that the X kept, so I no longer have that one. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royal. PlayStation Move Heroes. Portal 2, Prototype 2, Puppeteer, Ragnarok Odyssey, Ace, Ratchet and Clank Collection, Ratchet and Clank Future, A Crack in Time, Ratchet and Clank All for One, Ratchet and Clank Full Frontal Assault, Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus, Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction, Record of Agarist War 2, Record of Agarist War, Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year Edition, Resistance 2, Resistance 3, Resistance Fall of Man, Ride to Hell Retribution, yes, I still have it, Sacred 3, Saints Row the Third, Shadows of the Damned, Sims 3, Sly Cooper Collection, Sly 4, Thieves in Time, SOCOM 4, Sorcery, South Park and the Stick of Truth Collector's Edition, Splatterhouse, Sports Champions, Star Wars The Force Unleashed, Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, Starhawk, Super Street Fighter 4, Tales of Grace's F, Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Exilia 2, Tears to Tiara 2, Time and Eternity, Time Crisis Raising Storm, Transformers Fall of Cybertron, Transformers War for Cybertron, Trinity Universe, Tron Evolution, Twisted Metal, Two Worlds 2, U-Draw Game Tablet. I've got three different U-Draw games. Uncharted 3. I don't even have the original Uncharted 1 and 2 anymore. I only have Uncharted 3, the Collector's Edition. Untold Legends Dark Kingdom, Valkyria Chronicles, White Knight Chronicles 1 and 2, Wolfenstein, Wonder Book. I've got 3 different Wonder Book games. WWE All-Stars, X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men Destiny, and U-Star 2. There you go. That's my entire PS3 library that I have right now. We still have it. Don't know what you're on about. What do we still have, 8th? I need Puppeteer. Yeah, we have Puppeteer. PlayStation Move was pretty cool. Yeah, we've still got PlayStation Move controllers because that's what the PSVR uses. 7th, you don't have Resident Evil 5 or 6 on PS3? No, I sold them a long time ago. Oh, you think that's bad, Short Round? You should have me read my PS4 collection. My PS4 collection is like 100 titles bigger than my PS3 collection. My PS3 collection is like 160 games. My PlayStation 4 collection, let's see. I'm not going to read this one because it'd take forever. My PlayStation 4 collection is 270 titles. I have 270 physical PS4 games. The Sackboy plush. I thought we lost it when we moved here. I used to have some of the Yakuza games. I might still have some of the Yakuza games, and I just didn't get them into my phone. But I think see I did do some trimming of my collection when I moved here to try to lower some of the stuff that I had to pack. So I got rid of a few PS3 games, not a whole lot, and mostly just sold all my 360 and Xbox One games at the time. And then I've slowly been rebuilding my Xbox stuff since I moved back. Oh, I don't have near as many PlayStation 1 games. My PlayStation, $20 from Shadow Deist. Thank you, sir. That puts us up to 30. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I'd send you a dollar bill, but like I said, my Stream Deck ain't working right now. Let me see. Let me see. PlayStation 1. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of PlayStation 1 because that's one that I haven't spent a tremendous amount of time rebuilding since the infamous yard sale debacle of 2004. But let me see what I got. Yeah, see, it's very small. I only have 43 PS1 games, but I'll read them off to you. 007 Racing, Akuji the Heartless, Alundra, Alundra 2, Apocalypse, Area 51, Asteroids Greatest Hits, Batman and Robin. I bought that one as a joke. Blaster Master, Brave Fencer Musashi, Chrono Cross, Crash Bash, Darkstalkers, Dracula the Last, Fighting Force, Final Fantasy Anthology, Final Fantasy Chronicles, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy Tactics, Kiss Pinball, Legend of Dragoon, Legend of Legaia, Mega Man 8, Mega Man X4, Metal Gear Solid, Patriotic Pinball. Don't blame me, that was sent by Retro Game Treasure. Saga Frontier 2, or Saga Frontier 2, Silent Hill, Soul Blade, SpongeBob SquarePants, Star Ocean: The Second Story, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Street Fighter Collection, Strider 2, Suikoden, Threads of Fate, Vagrant Story, Valkyrie Profile, which is my rarest PS1 game. It's going for about $400 right now. Vampire Hunter D, Wild Arms, and Xenogears. So, oh, and that doesn't. I forgot. I've got a PS1 Dukes of Hazard game that I forgot to put in here. So I need to add that one. Uh, a while back, I just, even though they're all garbage, I just got this thing in my head. I want to own as many of the Dukes of Hazard video games as I can buy. And so I got like the Xbox one, the PS2 one, a couple of the PS1 ones, and I think one of the Game Boy ones. Why? I don't know. I just went out and found them. My rarest PS Vita game? Jesus. You guys are getting all interested now, huh? Let me go. Let me go look. I have no idea. I don't have no idea. Handheld. Sony PS Vita. Apply. I have 43 PlayStation Vita games. So it's still, I don't have a very big Vita collection. Used to be a lot bigger. Used to be up in the 70s. But like I said, I sold a bunch of stuff before I moved here. Let's see. We got Army Corps of Hell, Batman Arkham, Blaze Blue Continuum, Call of Duty Black Ops, Danganronpa 2, which is worth 76, Danganronpa 1, which is worth 83, Demon Gaze, uh, Drive Girls, Disney Infinity. I don't know why we still have that. We don't have any of the figures. Dungeon Hunter, Earth Defense Force 2, Final Fantasy XX2, Freedom Wars, Hyper Devotion Noir, Hyper Dimension Neptunia, which is $80, Hyper Dimension Neptunia, another one which is also $80, Hyper Dimension, another one that's worth $70, Killzone Mercenary, which is worth 50, Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel, which is worth 60, Legend of Hero Trails of Cold Steel 2, which is worth 111, Lego Batman 3, Lego Jurassic Park, Little Big Planet, Minecraft, Mod Nation Racers, that Japanese Monster Hunter game, Muramasa Rebirth, which is worth $88 now, One Piece Unlimited, PlayStation All-Star Battle Royal, Ragnarok Odyssey Ace, Resistance Burning Skies, Shiren the Wanderer, Silent Hill Book of Memories, which is now $72. Are you shitting me? That game sucks. Sorcery Saga, Soul Sacrifice, Street Fighter X Tekken, Tales of Hearts R at $108, Terraria, Tukiden, Uncharted Golden Abyss, Unit 13, Valhalla Knights 3, which is $50, and Ys Memories of Celceta, which is $53. So it looks like my rarest Vita game overall would be Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2 at $111. You still have your Disney Infinity figures. I thought we sold those. I mean, I know we sold all the Skylanders, but I thought you got rid of your Disney Infinity figures too. How much do you love living in Texas? Texas is awesome, man. Where do you physically house all your games? You must have lots. Eighth keeps a bunch of them in his room, and then I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves that are just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shelves for holding games, and then these 2 sets behind me for holding the consoles. So yeah. Uh, what do you do in 007 racing? You race. It's kind of like that reboot of Spy Hunter, I guess. Yes, there was a SpongeBob PS1 game. I need to get started on Vagrant Story. That's a good. Yeah, I haven't got Suikoden 2. I've only got the original. Do you have a physical copy of Duke? No, I don't. I do have Freedom Wars for Vita. Yeah. Which collection is your biggest? NES collection. It's almost at 400. It's at like 380 or something like that. Don't ask me to read that one. That would take forever to read my NES collection. And most of them are not rare. Most of them are the commons. Do you prefer GameCube or Wii? Probably Wii, honestly. Blasphemy. Sold the Skylanders, kept my Disney ones. I didn't know you still had your Disney ones. I didn't see them on display anywhere, but I wasn't looking either. I have Ratchet and Clank Trilogy on Vita. It goes between 1 and 300 on eBay. I used to have that one and I sold it. I was like, why do I have this when I have all of them on PS2? Stupid move. Shouldn't have done it. How big is your house? Not big. It's only about 1,500 square feet. How hot does Texas get? During July and August, it can easily get over 100 degrees here. What app do you use to catalog them? Game Eye. Where did you find those shelves? I bought them off Amazon. Bought them off Amazon. They were $175 a piece. Seven thoughts. It's if you've ever watched any of Pat the NES Punk's videos, you know the shelves where he has all of his NES carts. It's the exact same shelves he has. He was the one that recommended them to me. Seven thoughts on Star Fox Adventure. It's a good game, it's just not a good Star Fox game. Do you own any physical Fatal Frames? I might on PS2. I don't really remember. I'll have to look. Have you played that medieval Rat Plague game on PS4? Does not sound familiar. All right, well, I guess I got to go through my PS2 since somebody asked about Fatal Frame. I honestly don't remember if I have Fatal Frame physical or not. I did at one point, but again, I've traded and sold over the years. I don't do it anymore, but the last time I did it was shortly after we moved here, and we traded in a bunch of Blu-ray movies at Half Price Books, and we threw a couple of games in there too. Shouldn't have, but we did. Let's see here. Filter to console, PlayStation 2. My PlayStation 2 collection isn't huge either, but it's bigger than my PS1 collection. I have 84 PS2 games. Here we go. You ready? Oh, how big is my digital collection? It's over 600 titles at this point. Stretched across PS3, PS4, and PS5. In fact, if you threw in the PS3 games that are digital that I still have installed on my PS3, it's probably around 700 or 800. All right. You ready? Here's my PS2 collection. Hack Infection Part 1, Hack Infection Part 2, Hack Infection Part 3. I do not have Part 4, which is the super expensive one. Arc the Lad, Twilight of the whatever. Armored Core 3, Bionicle Heroes, Blood Omen 2, Castlevania Curse of Whatever, which is $95 now. That blows my mind. Castlevania Lament of Innocence, Champions of Norath, Chaos Wars, Dark Cloud 2, Destroy All Humans, Devil May Cry, Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII. I do not have Devil May Cry 2 or 3. I don't know why. Disgaea, Hour of Darkness, Dragon Quest 8, Drakengard, $151 for Drakengard, Endgame, Aragon, Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X2, Final Fantasy 12, Front Mission 4, Ghost Rider, God of War 2. I do not have God of War physical for some reason. I used to have it. I'm not sure why I don't anymore. Gran Turismo 3, Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto Vice City Grandia Extreme, which is $90. Gungrave Overdose, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harvest Moon, Hitman 2, Hot Shot Golf 4, Jack 3, Jet X2O, Killzone, Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts something or other, I don't remember which one. Magna Carta, which is $50. Mackay Kingdom, Manhunt, Matrix Path of Neo, Maximo. I do not have Maximo 2 for some reason. One of the Medal of Honor games, not sure which one. Mega Man Anniversary, Mega Man X Collection, Mercenaries, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge, which is $45. Nightshade, which was kind of female shinobi, it's $63. Okami, Onimusha 3. I don't have Onimusha 1 and 2. I'm not sure why. Pirates of the Caribbean, Prince of Persia, Project Snowblind, Radiata Stories, which is $51. Ratchet and Clank, Ratchet Deadlocked, Rogue Galaxy, Scooby-Doo First Frights, Shin Megami Tensei, Persona 3, which is $75. Shin Megami Tensei Persona 4, which is only $30. Silent Hill 2, $103. Silent Hill 3, $158. Silent Hill 4, $136. Sims 2. Siren, $48. I have the original Siren. Spawn Armageddon, $30. Spider-Man 2, $14. Spy Hunter. Street Fighter Anniversary. Siphon Filter Dark Mirror. Tales of the Abyss. Transformers. Tribes Aerial Assault. Valkyrie Profile 2, which is $50. And then Xenosaga Episodes 1, 2, and 3. And Episode 3 is worth $300. So Xenosaga Episode 3 is my rarest PS2 game. Seventh, ever been to the RGV? I don't believe so, whatever that is. Did you like watching To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen? Not especially. Oh, A Plague Tale, Innocent Tale. No, I haven't played it. Where do you go to sell used games? Usually I would prefer to sell them to another collector, but if for some reason I needed some money, I'd probably just go to Half Price Books and unload them. That, or I'd try to sell them in one big lot on eBay to get as much for them as I could. But I'm not going to be selling stuff again anytime soon. I have a few doubles that I take with me when I go to cons, just on the off chance that I meet someone that actually recognizes me. If they ask for like an autograph or whatnot, I just take one of my doubles out, sign it, and give it to them. My rarest item is my GameCube component cable. Any other libraries you want to hear? I have almost everything on here. And yes, my phone screensaver is me and 8th. This was before 8th grew a beard, however. Y'all gotta remember, 8th is 18. He's a high school graduate now. High school graduate. So I don't have any Fatal Frame games, but I do have Siren. That's not a joke. They sell for up to $400. I know it's still just funny that the rarest thing you have is a cable. I know it's worth money, but it's still funny. Just the thought of it. My Sega collection. Oh, my Sega Genesis collection. Let's see. Now, keep in mind, I do have numerous Sega Genesis games that are complete in box, but I don't care as much about the boxes with the Sega Genesis games. I care about them more than Nintendo boxes, because Nintendo boxes are just cardboard. And of course, starting in like 1993, the Genesis games started being cardboard too, and then I really didn't give a crap about the Genesis boxes. But if I can get them in a plastic box, I will. Otherwise, a huge chunk of my Genesis collection are cart only, because I actually lucked into a lot of over 100 Genesis carts several years ago for dirt cheap. And so I bought them all. So this was when I was really starting to rebuild my collection. Let me see here. Sega Genesis. I have 191 Sega Genesis games. Do I think Boogie is going to jail? Nah, he'll get off. He doesn't have a criminal record, so he'll get off. They'll give him a fine and community service. Does eighth's beard grow longer than mine? No, not really. Uh, do you think Boogie? I already answered that. Okay, Genesis collection. Y'all ready? Real Monsters, Adventures of Batman and Robin, Afterburner 2, Air Diver, Alex Kidd and Enchanted Castle, Alicia Dragoon, Altered Beast, Animaniacs, Arch Rivals, Arcus Odyssey, Asterix and the Great Something or Other, Awesome Possum, Balls 3D, Batman Returns, Batman the Video Game, Battle Master, Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Rage of the Beast, or whatever it's called. I've also got the Beauty and the Beast, Bell's Magical whatever, but I don't have it on here for some reason. Beyond Oasis, Biohazard Battle, Blaster Master 2, Bonanza Brothers, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Bubble and Squeak, Bugs Bunny and Double Trouble, Castle of Illusion, Castlevania Bloodlines. I used to have the box to that one, but I gave it to Billy when he came over here that time. Centurion Defender of Rome, Chakan the Forever Man, Chase HQ2, Cheeky Cheeky Boys, Clay Fighter, Clue, Comic Zone, Contra Hardcore, Cool Spot, Cosmic Spacehead, Crusader of Sentai, which is now worth over $400. Cutthroat, and yes, Crusader of Sentai, or Crusader of Senti, however you want to pronounce it, is my rarest Genesis game at over $400. Cutthroat Island, Death and Return of Superman, Decap Attack, Desert Demolition, Dick Tracy, Dino Land, Dinosaurs for Hire, Jungle Book, Doom Troopers, Double Dragon 5, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Dungeons and Dragons, Dynamite Duke, Dynamite Hetty, Ernest Evans, Echo the Dolphin, Echo 2, El Viento, Eternal Champions, Fairy Tale Adventure, Final Zone, Forgotten Worlds, Gadget Twins, Gaiaris, Galaxy Force 2, Gargoyles, Ghostbusters, Ghouls and Ghosts, Golden Axe 2, Goofy's Hysterical whatever. I think I have Golden Axe, the original Golden Axe as well somewhere, but I just didn't put it on here. I don't have Golden Axe 3. Grenada, Green Dog the Beach Surfer Dude, Grindstormer, Gunstar Heroes, which is now worth $153. Heavy Nova, Hellfire, Herzog's Way, High Seas Havoc, Home Alone, Immortal, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Indiana Jones and the Instruments of Chaos, James Pond 3, Jewel Master, which is shockingly worth $58 now, Joe Montana Football, Joe Montana 2 Sports Talk Football, Judge Dredd, Jurassic Park, Kid Chameleon, King Salmon, Lakers versus Celtics in the NBA playoffs, which is my favorite basketball game of all time, Landstalker, Last Battle, Light Crusader, Lightning Force, which is Thunder Force 4, $122. Lion King, Lost Vikings, Marsupilami, Master of Monsters, which is $60. The Minister 6-in-1 cart, Mercs, Mickey Mania, Midnight Resistance, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Mortal Kombat 2, Miss Pac-Man, Mystic Defender, Normie's Beach Blanket, whatever, Ooze, Pack Attack, Pac-Mania, Page Master, Fantasy Star 2, which is $64, Fantasy Star 3, which is $50, Fantasy Star 4, which is $72, Powermonger, Predator 2, Punisher, which is over $100, Quackshot, Quad Challenge, Rambo 3, which is almost $70. That's mind-blowing. Ranger X, Ren and Stimpy Show, Revenge of Shinobi, Rings of Power, which was made by Naughty Dog, $47. Risk, Ristar, Saturday Night Slam Masters, which is $93 now. Wow. Shadow Blasters, Shadow Dancer, Shinobi, whatever. Shadow of the Beast, Shaq Fu, Shining Force 2, Shining in the Darkness, Shinobi 3, Simpsons, Bart's Nightmare, Skeleton Crew, which is $68 for Skeleton Crew, really? Socket, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic Spinball, Sparkster, which is $85. Spider-Man, Spider-Man and Venom, Spider-Man and X-Men, Star Trek The Next Generation, Steel Empire, Strider, Subterranea, Super Hydlide, Sword of Sedan, Sword of Vermilion, Sid of Valis, which is $86. Terminator 2, Taz and Escape from Mars, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Hyperstone Heist, $177. Wow. Terminator, Thunder Force 2, Thunder Fox, which is for some reason $89 for Thunder Fox. And Thunder Force 3 isn't in here, but I own it. I'm not sure why Thunder Force 3 isn't in here, but I own that one. Tin Head, Tiny Toon Adventures, Tiny Toon Adventures again. There's two different ones. Toe Jam and Earl, Toe Jam and Earl 2, Tommy Lasorda Baseball, Toxic Crusaders, Tracia, Troubleshooter, which is over $100. Jesus. Truxton, $60. Two Crude Dudes, Urban Strike, the original Valis, $147. Valis 3, $109. Vector Man, Vector Man 2, Viewpoint, Virtua Fighter 2, Wardner, which is $95. Warp Speed, Warrior of Rome 2, Whip Rush, World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, World Series Baseball, X-Men, X-Men 2, Zero Tolerance, and Zombie 8 My Neighbors complete in box, $80. So there's my Genesis collection. Y'all let me know if you want me to read another one. No, I don't. I've never done a drunken stream because I don't drink. Every now and again I have a wine cooler, and that's about it. Do you think Sega will ever make another non-online Phantasy Star game? Kind of doubt it. Killzone versus Halo. I would say the first three are better than Killzone, but after 3, I liked Killzone 2 and 3 better. Killzone Shadowfall is garbage. I got Jack and Daxter on PS4 when it came out. It's over $200 now. Wow. I did not bother. Did not bother. I don't... Did I even look at what my rarest PS4 game was? I don't know that I did. Read your Xbox One exclusive collection. I don't even know if I've bothered to put them in here because the listing is so small. Let me look. I may have. I don't know. Xbox One. I have 14 games for the Xbox One. Crackdown 3, Dead Rising 3, Forza Horizon 3, Forza Motorsport 6, Gears of War Ultimate, Gears of War 4, Halo 5 Guardians, Killer Instinct, Quantum Break, Recore, Rise Son of Rome, Sea of Thieves, Sunset Overdrive, and Gears Tactics. There's your whopping Xbox One exclusive collection. I have most of what was exclusive for that system, except for some of the Forza games. Now, my original Xbox collection, that's a different story. That's a different story. I still don't have a whole lot for 360 because I'm still rebuilding that collection. And I don't even know that I've put them in here yet. I might have. Let me see. I only have 30 games for Xbox 360. I used to have easily twice that. Alan Wake, Alone in the Dark, Blue Dragon, Body Count, Call of Juarez, Conan, Crisis 3, Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, Dark Sector, Darkness, Dead Rising, Elder Scrolls 4, Eternal Sonata, Fable 2, Fable 3, Gears of War 3, Halo 3, Halo 3 OSD, ODST, Cameo, Left 4 Dead, Lost Odyssey, Lost Planet Extreme, Perfect Dark, Prey, Project Gotham Racing, Saboteur, Silent Hill Homecoming, Two Worlds 2, Two Worlds Collector's Edition, Witcher 2, and that's actually not all of them. I've also got Halo Reach and Halo 4 and Halo Wars. And then I've also got Infinite Undiscovery, Crackdown 2, Gears of War 2, and Gears of War Judgment. So I've actually got like closer to 40 games. I just haven't put them all in there yet. Now, as far as original Xbox, this one's actually a little bit bigger. I've got 35 original Xbox games. Azuric Rise of the Parathia, A Bard's Tale, Batman Begins, Blackstone Magic and Steel, Blinks, Bruce Lee, Call of Cthulhu, which is $60, Constantine, Dead to Rights 2, Elder Scrolls 3, Evil Dead Regeneration, Fable The Lost Chapters, Halo 2, Halo, Hulk, Hunter the Reckoning, Incredible Hulk Ultimate, whatever, Jade Empire, Kingdom Under Fire, Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rings, Nightcaster, Ninja Gaiden, Painkiller, Hell Wars, Psyops, The Mindgate Conspiracy, Punisher, Shenmue 2, Sonic Mega Collection, Spartan Total War, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars Obi-Wan, The Suffering, The Thing, Tron 2.0 Killer App, and Van Helsing. I'm still rebuilding my original Xbox collection. That was another one that got wiped in the yard sale debacle. Name off your Dreamcast collection. Well, okay. I guess I can do that. Let's see. Filter to consoles. My Sega Saturn collection is small, but it's all really expensive crap. I'll tell you that. Let's do Saturn first, and then I'll do Dreamcast. Get ready for this. Like I said, very small, but almost all of it, not all of it, but almost all of it is really expensive shit. I only have 17 Saturn games at this time. I used to have well over 100. Albert Odyssey, it's worth over $100. Baku, Battle Monsters, Burning Rangers, which is over $200. Dark Savior, Dragon Force, which is over $100. Fighting Vipers, Grid Runner. Magic Knight Ray Earth, which is over $300. Mansion of Hidden Souls, Mystaria, The Realms of Lore. Panzer Dragoon Saga, which is currently $1,213. Robotica, Shining Force 3, which is over $100. Shining the Holy Ark, which is right at $100. Shining Wisdom, which is over $100. And Virtual Cop. So yeah, I have a Panzer Dragoon Saga remains my most valuable game at over 1,000. It's over $1,200 now. Let's see here, because it's complete in box. It's 100% complete. Sega Dreamcast. I bought it for $50 a couple of years ago. There was a guy. It was pure luck. I was at a retro game store, and I was walking out, and there was a guy who was getting ready to take a bunch of stuff in, and I said, "Well, hey, what you got there? Maybe you got something that I'd want to buy straight off of you." And he showed me all the stuff that he had, and I noticed Panzer Dragoon Saga, and I said, what do you take for just that one? And he said, oh, I don't know. I said, $50. I said, sold. And I took it. He probably felt really stupid when he walked in there if he happened to tell them that he had, Panzer Dragoon Saga. Dude had lost his job or something. He was selling his whole collection. He had this great big box. And I sifted through it. I had most of it, and then I saw that. And you always start. I didn't want to do the whole $2 thing, but I wanted him to try to at least acknowledge that game was worth something. I said, I'll give you $50 just for that one, and he was like, sold, $50. Sega Dreamcast, and now it's worth $1,200. All right, you ready? I have 54 Dreamcast games. Now, again, I used to have way more than that. I used to have over 100 Dreamcast games. But here we go. 18-Wheeler, Arrow Wings, Blue Stinger, Bust-A-Move 4, Disney's Buzz Lightyear, Carrier, Championship Surfer, Charge and Blast, Coaster Works, Crazy Taxi 2, D2, Dead or Alive 2, Deep Fighter, Draconis Cult of the Worm, Echo the Dolphin, Evil Dead Hail to the King, Evolution, Evolution 2, Expendable, Fighting Force 2, The Floygan Brothers, Grandia 2, Kiss Psycho Circus, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, Mach X, Metropolis Street Racer, Nightmare Creatures 2, Omicron the Nomad Soul, Ooga Booga, Pin Pin Trisalon, Phantasy Star Online version 2.0, Pure Solar and the Great Whatever, Power Stone, Prince of Persia, Ready to Rumble, Record of Lotus War, Rippin' Riders, Sega Bass Fishing, and I think I have Sega Marine Fishing too, and I just don't have it on here. Sega GT, Shenmue, Silent Scope, Silver, Skies of Arcadia, Sonic Adventure, Soul Calibur, Soul Fighter, Speed Devils, Sword of the Berserk, Guts Rage, Time Stalkers, Tokyo Extreme Racing, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Trick Style, WWF Royal Rumble, and Zombies Revenge. And the one that appears to be worth the most money is Skies of Arcadia at $164. Sword of the Berserk is $115. Prince of Persia is $65. Power Stone is $90. Record of Lotus War is $83. Omicron is $50. Grandia 2 is $53. Evolution 2 is $50. Evil Dead Hail to the King is $50. D2 is $148. So it came close to beating it. Yeah. So there you go. How many Atari games do you own? Like Atari 2600? Let's see. I have a decent sized Atari 2600 collection. It's not huge. I have 83 Atari 2600 games. I don't think any of them are worth money. I'll look. Let's see. Buck Rogers is worth $9. That's so far bigger than anything else. Coconuts is worth $10. Donkey Kong's worth $10. Fantastic Voyage, $11. Oh, wait a minute. Gremlins. I have Gremlins for 2600. It is worth $60. I'll bet you that's my rarest Atari game. Let's look. I don't see anything beating that. I don't think I do. I'll keep looking though. Shooting Gallery 22, but that's still not touching Gremlins. And you know why I bought Gremlins? Because it was one of Billy's favorite Atari games, and I'd never played it, so I wanted to try it. Yeah, I don't have. I have 83 Atari games, and all of them, for the most part, are under $20, except for Shooting Gallery and Gremlins, which is over 60. What games are you playing on the PC? Nothing. I don't really play on PC. I have a Steam account, but I don't use it. Eighth is the big PC gamer here. Correction, Master Millions. Jim Ryan didn't really backtrack on backwards compatibility. He backtracked on comments he made about old games. But he did not say, we're reevaluating backwards compatibility for PS1, 2, and 3. He just made comments saying that, when we're trying to get a new console out, we have to make cuts somewhere. And people were really clamoring for backwards compatibility for PS4, so we gave them that. So, he didn't say anything that would lead me to suspect that PS1, 2, or 3 is going to be on anything other than PS Now. I used to play PC gaming a lot, and back in the early 2000s, I just got burnt out on it. Went back to playing primarily on console. Like I said, I've got a 2060 Super. Uh, I could play most of the stuff that's coming out now at over, anywhere from 60 to over 100 frames per second because I don't have uh, 144 hertz monitors. I just have regular 1080p monitors. Or I mean, I don't have 1440p. I just have 1080p monitors. So, you know, I can play stuff at 1080p at well over 100 frames per second for a lot of the stuff out there. I just choose not to. And why? Because I'd rather be in my game room sitting in my recliner with my 70-inch TV than sitting in here where I stream to you guys playing games on this. Just is what it is. My recliner is more comfortable than this chair, and I have that big 70-inch screen in the game room. What about your TurboGrafx 16 collection? I don't have that many TurboGrafx games. TurboGrafx games are hard to come by. You'll see them at the cons, but they're rarely cheap. So my collection for TurboGrafx is really small. It's not as small as my Atari Jaguar collection, but it's small. Let's see here. TurboGrafx 16. I have 25 games for the TurboGrafx 16. Alien Crush, $44. Ballistics, $40. Battle Royale, $29. Blazing Laser, $63. Bloody Wolf, $79. Bonk's Adventure, $57. Bravo Man, $40. China Warrior, $19. Double Dungeons, $28. Dungeon Explorer, $36. JJ and Jeff, $28. Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu, over $100. Keith Courage and Alpha Zone, $16. King of Casino, $14. Legendary Axe, $41. Legendary Axe 2, $46. Newtopia, $110. I used to have Newtopia 2, and that's one of the ones I lost in the yard sale, and to this day I'm pissed about it. Ninja Spirit, $56. Hyperdyne Sidearms, $40. Sonic Spike Volleyball, $21. Splatterhouse, $100. Tiger Road, $66. TV Sports Football, $8. Victory Run, $13. And Vigilante, $32. So my rarest game on TurboGrafx is Jackie Chan Action Kung Fu. 8th got an RTX. Yes, 8th has a 3080. He has the 32 teraflop 3080. And again, to those who donated, thank you for the collective uh, $30. And let's see here. What did Ezo say? Thank you for all the content during the PS3 era. Trey for life. Trey for life. And Shadow Diaz just said, "There you go, 7th." Thank you, sir. Let's see here. Yeah, 8's rocking the he's rocking the good shit, man. I couldn't afford a 3090, and he didn't really need one. The 3080 just kills it. It's for, not the I'm not saying it kills the 3090. I'm just saying in general that game kills that graphics card kills it. You know. And he's rocking what the 1440 monitors. He's got one of those 1440 wide monitors or whatever the resolution on that thing is. So I do miss El Presidor's ranting and running into the rotten trees. He didn't start doing the tree thing after the Brotherhood was done. I think Nintendo's E3 event will be good with Zelda, hopefully Metroid Prime 4. It'd be nice to hear something about Metroid 4. Favorite Genesis game, Gunstar Heroes. Don't even have to think about it. Gunstar Heroes is the stuff, man. Shinobi 3 is good too, but I really love Gunstar Heroes. There's just something about that game. Have you bought any console add-ons? I have I have all of the add-ons for the ColecoVision except for the Atom computer. I have the voice module for the Intellivision. For Genesis, I have the Sega CD and the 32X. Uh, I think that's about it as far as add-ons go. And no, I don't really have anything good for Sega CD. My Sega CD collection kind of sucks. It's like all of the best stuff that I would want on Sega CD, I don't really have because they're all just massively super expensive these days, and I haven't been able to find a good price on any of it. So, Sega CD is kind of a joke as far as my collection goes. I only have 26 Sega CD games, and again, none of them are the really good shit. I've only got one that's even worth anything. Uh, well, I've got a couple. Amazing Spider-Man, $63. Batman Returns, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, $80. Chuck Rock, Cliffhanger, Dracula Unleashed, which is in here twice for some reason. I don't know why. Flashback, Ground Zero Texas, Hook, Jeopardy, Lodestar, Microcosm, Mortal Kombat, Night Trap, Prince of Persia, Prize Fighter, Pugsy, Sewer Shark, Sylphied, Soul Feast, Sonic CD, which is $60, Tomcat Alley, Wonder Dog, and the one rare game that I have been able to get back for Sega CD, Vi, VAY, Vi. It was one of the Color Dreams RPGs that they put out for it, and it's worth $80. So I have two games worth $80, and that's about it. And my 32X is even smaller. My 32X is pathetic, I think. There's hardly anything on it, which it didn't really have a whole lot anyway. I have 16 games for 32X. BC Racers, which is worth $40. That's shocking. Cosmic Carnage, Doom, Golf Magazine presents 36 holes. Knuckles Chaotix, $98. Wow. Colibri, over $100. Wow. Metalhead, Mortal Kombat 2, which it's considered like one of the best home versions of Mortal Kombat 2 during the 8 and during that generation, so it's worth $42. Motocross Championship, Shadow Squadron, which is worth $30. Star Wars Arcade, Tempo, $86. Wow. T-Mex, $68. Impressive. Virtua Fighter, $15. Virtua Racing Deluxe, $14. And WWF Raw, $38. So there weren't that many 32X games made anyway. So, for 32X, 16 games is actually a decent size for that library. Hey, 7th, been a while. How's it going? It's going all right, Chris G. It's going all right. Chris G. Hey, Chris. Chris G. Were you one of the guys that that was having that donation war with somebody else and caused me to get up to over $400 one night in donations? Were you one of them? Because I want to say it was a Chris, and I'm thinking it was you. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. How long do you think Jim Ryan will stay with Sony? I have no idea. Are you still met on him? Yes, I am. Is there anything else that I could go over that would be interesting to anybody? Let me see. Filter to console. Well, how many games do I? I don't have that many for Super Nintendo, but most of them are bangers. Let me see. Yeah, my Super Nintendo collection is not near as big as my Genesis, not even half. But I've got some really epic stuff in here, and a lot of it is for Super Nintendo worth some money. I've got a few stinkers, but ActRaiser, $52. Adventures of Dr. Franken, Animaniacs, Batman Forever, Biker Mice from Mars, $75. Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2, and I believe I have Donkey Kong Country 3 as well. I'd have to go back and double check. Fighter's History, Final Fight 2, $55. Gradius 3, Gun Force Battlefire, Illusion of Gaia, Lord of the Rings, Killer Instinct, King of the Monsters 2, Kirby's Avalanche, Link to the Past, Mario Paint, Pitfall, The Mayan Adventure, RoboCop vs. the Terminator, The Rocketeer, Run Saber, $82. Scooby-Doo Mysteries, Secret of Evermore, $43. Spider-Man, Star Fox, 2020 Super Baseball, Super Castlevania 4, $41. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Godzilla, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG, $88. Super Mario World, Super Ninja Boy, Super R-Type, Super Star Wars, Turtles in Time, $80. Thunder Spirits, Todd McFarlane's Spawn, Toy Story, Tough Enough, UN Squadron, Wario's Woods, and Ys 3 Wanderers from Ys. So I've got some of the best games you can get on SNES, but it's not the biggest library I have, because at the time I was focused a lot more on Genesis, because I liked Super Nintendo, but I was more of a Genesis guy. Now, I don't have a whole lot of rare games for the NES, but I do have 380 carts. I'm not going to read them all, but I will tell you which ones are worth actual money. Give me a second. We're going to go through. Arkista's Ring, $53. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, $45. Let's see here. Wow, Beetlejuice is worth $30. That's shocking. Lots of commons in here. Lots of commons. Castlevania, $44. Castlevania 3, $45. Clue Land, $40. Conquest of the Crystal Palace, $48. Darkwing Duck, $71. Wow. Dragon Warrior 2, $64. Wonder why. That's unusual. The original Final Fantasy, $30. Ghost Lion, over $100. That's surprising. Ghost Lion was a Zelda clone, and it was made by a company called Kimco. Kimco is still around today. If you're a PlayStation owner, they're the ones that flood the PSN with a bunch of generic JRPGs. Let's see here. Do I have anything that beats Ghost Lion? Ghost Lion could be my rarest Nintendo cart. Isolated Warrior, $54. Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu, $81. Wow, Journey to Silius has made it up to $50. It's selling now for the same price it sold when it was new. Let's see. Original Legend of Zelda Gold Cart, $32. That surprises me. That's a pretty common cart. Mario Brothers, not Super Mario, but regular Mario Brothers, $30. Mega Man, $95. Mega Man 2, only $27. Mega Man 3, only $19. Really? Mega Man 4, $40. Mega Man 5, over $100. Mega Man 6, $57. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, $44. Really? That's an extremely common cart. Motor City Pool, $75. Mutant Virus, $35. Nightmare on Elm Street, $70. Really? That's staggering. Ninja Gaiden 3, $93. The other two are under $20. Wow. That is interesting. See what else we got in here. Common. Lots of commons. Scat. No, it's not a German game. Scat. Special something tactics or something. Over $100. Shadow of the Ninja, $70. Shatterhand, $85. Looks like I've just got I've got like 3 or 4 games that are over $100, but I don't have anything that's up in the $200, $300, or $400 range. It's fun for me to go back and look at these because I didn't spend anywhere near this for any of these. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, $39. Totally Rad, $40. Wow. Anyone that pays that much for that, they're not going to feel like they got their money's worth. Wampum, $70. That's cool. Yo Noid, $40. Young Indiana Jones, $75. Are you serious for Young Indiana Jones? Anyway, that's all my rarest shit. No, that wasn't me. I was there that night. I think you're right. There was a Chris, but it wasn't me. Okay. I'm pretty sure one of them was a Chris. I don't remember who the other one was. That was a crazy night. Name your platinum collect. I don't have my platinum stuff where I can look at it. There's 157 of them in there, and some of them are really good, and some of them are crap. Where I got like one of these free I got little games free for review from like sites that I have I get free review codes for, and a lot of the ones that I get for free are like Ratalaika games that normally sell for $5 anyway, and they take you like 20 minutes to plat them. There's a bunch of that shit in there. But then again, my trophy collection goes back all the way to 2008. So, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff in there, like Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, Infamous 1 and 2, Infamous Second Son, Uncharted 4. There's a lot of plats in there. I just don't remember them all. I think my last major plat was for the re-release of Kingdoms of Amalur. I'm pretty close to platting Biomutant. I just have to start New Game Plus because it turns out you have to beat one of the all the bosses you have to beat a certain way to get or do a certain thing while you're fighting them to get the trophy to pop. And I didn't know that when I started it, so I beat one of the bosses just regular and didn't get a trophy for him. So I have to start New Game Plus and refight that boss. And then I've got some grinding stuff that I have to do. But I've already beat the game. I'm at like 70% on that one. Will you stop gaming when there's no more physical games? I don't know. Yes, Hannah Montana was one of my plats. That is the only time where I have said, if you donate me the game, I'll film myself platting it and review it. That's the only time I ever did that. Now I've had other people send me games over the years wanting me to review them. I had one guy that for some reason he sent me a bunch of like old school PC games from the 90s, and I wrote him back and I was like, well, thanks, I guess, but I don't even have anything to run this on, because at the time I was running it on laptop and I didn't have like old school PC emulation on there. I'm like, how am I supposed to review this stuff? I do console stuff on my channel, man, not PC. I stopped that pretty quick because it got to where the only stuff that anyone wanted to send me was really, really bad games because they wanted to see me tortured. Yeah, the Hannah Montana video is still on my channel. I think it's got like 20 something thousand views on it. Ah, shit. Here, let me go look since people are making a big deal about it now. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a way to pull up my trophies list. And I'll try to read you all the plats. Hang on a second. I'm trying to go there now. Let's see. I'm a level 532. That doesn't have all my plats on it. I've got 157 plats, but it says 154. So 3 of them haven't updated on here yet. Uh, they were just little digital PSN titles, nothing big. Let's see. So um, let's see. Uh, okay, here we go. Horned Knight. Refreshed. Stupid ass thing. It's all the ads they put on this site. Horned Knight, Cave Bad, Hell Breachers. This is from newest to oldest. Random Heroes, Pity Pit, Little Adventure on the Prairie. Like these are all these Ratalaika games. Tower of Dragon Asia, Chickens on the Road, Road Bustle, Snake Boat, Castle of No Escape 2, Alien Destroyer, Brave Match, Kingdom of Arcadia, Astro's Playroom, Kingdoms of Amalur, Re-Reckoning, Prehistoric Dude, Inferno 2, Red Death, Ghost of Tsushima, Gun Crazy, Greedfall, Burly Men at Sea, Reverie. Come on, finish loading the page. Why aren't you loading the page? Come on. Town of Light, Storm Boy, Dying Reborn, The Red Bow, Devious Dungeon 2, Suicide Guy, Super Wheelo D-Make, Psycho Pass, Mandatory Happiness, Full Blast, Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3, Days Gone, Metal Gal, Nino Kuni 2, Jack and Jill DX, Inksplosion, Super Destronaut DX, Final Fantasy 15, Cat Quest, Blackwood Crossing, Jack 2, Undertale, Puzzle Showdown, Energy Cycle, Icy, Slayaway Camp, Air, AER, Air, Sinren Kagura Estival Versus, The Order 1886, Dragon Quest Heroes, Nier Automata, Final Fantasy Type 0, Dead Synchronicity, Hellblade, Batman the Telltale series, and now it's having to load some more. Adam's Venture, Mr. Masagi. I did that one because I was intending to do a video about stupid plats, and I never got around to making it. Snoopy's Grand Adventure, that went along with that video that was never made. Monster Jam Crush It, Clockwork Tales of Glass and Ink, World of Nubla, Jazz Punk, Coffin Dodgers, My Name is Mayo, which was another one that was going to go with that video I never made, Orc Slayer, Albedo, Nero, Duke Nukem 3D, Cat Lateral Damage, Hitman Go, The Bunker, Virginia, Adventure Time, Finn and Jake, Ocean Horn, Valley, Stories, The Path of Destiny. That one was a pain in the ass. Stories, The Path of Destinies has like 20 something endings and you have to get them all. No Man's Sky, Infamous Second Son, Infamous First Light, Far Cry Primal, SpongeBob Hero Pants for the Vita, Lego Legends of Chima for the Vita, Far Cry 4, Ghostbusters. Actually, not Ghostbusters. I'm at 81% on that one. Sorry. Lego Lord of the Rings, Lego The Hobbit, Rocket League, The Walking Dead, Broken Sword 5, Minecraft Story Mode, Ether 1, Grim Fandango Remastered, Day of the Tentacle Remastered, Uncharted 4, Tearaway Unfolded, Wonder Book Book of Spells, Tom Clancy's The Division, Life is Strange, Magus, Game of Thrones, Tales from the Borderlands, The Wolf Among Us, Virtue's Last Reward for the Vita. That one was a pain. Mad Max. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Come on, load, 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 load. I don't chase after these as much as I used to, in case you hadn't noticed. Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus. Load, 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 load. Come on. Lego Marvel Superheroes. Lego Star Wars 3. God of War Ascension. Ni no Kuni. Brave. Lego Lord of the Rings. Also, a lot of these are PS3 games that I played co-op with 8th back before he was allowed to have his own account. Resistance Burning Skies, Back to the Future the game, Lego Batman 2. That's why there's so many Lego games in here. This was stuff that I was playing with 8th at the time. Hannah Montana the movie, Phineas and Ferb, Lego Harry Potter, Fallout 3, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Uncharted 3. Come on. Loading, loading, loading. Assassin's Creed 2, Toy Story 3, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Rango, Infamous 2, Spare Parts, Borderlands, Sly 2, Band of Thieves, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage, Little Big Planet, Megamind, Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time, Monsters vs. Aliens, Lego Harry Potter. There's 2 of those. Shrek Forever After, How to Train Your Dragon, Dante's Inferno, Lego Indiana Jones 2, Up, Uncharted 2, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Terminator Salvation, Infamous, Burnout Paradise, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, X-Men Origins Wolverine, which was my very first plat. So yeah, there's 157 of them in there. Like I said, the last few years I haven't really uh I haven't really chased after them so that much as I used to. I don't think I could tell you Eight's plats because I don't think his PSN profile is public. I could look. Yeah, his profile is private, so it's not listed on here. Doesn't show it. So Can't tell you what his plats are because he's got his whole account privated. Only his friends can see his account and talk to him and all that kind of thing. And the reason being is because people that watch me went and friend requested him, and every time they'd see him online, they'd ask him questions, and it got to where he started getting annoyed by it, so he privated his whole account so that only his friends could talk to him. And by that I mean like his actual school friends, not friends online that he has through me. I think Eighth's plats are somewhere in the 50s or 70s, somewhere, maybe the 80s. Uh, but he has a lot of the Souls like games platted. So he's got uh, Demon Souls platted, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. Uh, I think he has the plat on Neo and maybe Neo 2 as well. Just he's That's his genre of choice, so he has a lot of that on there. He's especially skilled in that genre because he has the patience for that and he took the time to sit and learn how to get through them. I can't see him using this site. I can't see his plats because his account is privated, so I can't see him. He has 85. Okay. And I don't have the PlayStation app installed. If I had the PlayStation app installed, then I could pull his account up through my PlayStation app, maybe, and be able to see it there. But I don't have it installed. I've never installed it. But like I said, most of his are uh, Souls likes and things like that. Tougher stuff. He tends to gravitate towards harder games. Saw that little video that Solid Rev made where Blaze showed up at his house. That was funny. That was funny. Let's see here. What time is it? Oh shoot. We've only got 30 minutes left. It's 8:30. We've only got 30 minutes left. Didn't even realize it. Do you No, neither of us play fighting games. Not even against each other. We used to play Mortal Kombat against each other, but Eighth started getting mad at me because I was spamming him with Scorpion. So I was doing the whole get over here, pull him close, uppercut, and then I'd teleport to the other side of the screen, get over here, pull him close, uppercut. And he's a lot better at gaming now, but at the time that we were doing that, he was still kind of building his skill level. And Scorpion was the only character in Mortal Kombat that I was ever any good with, and he just didn't like playing against me because I would spam him with the hell out of him with Scorpion, and he never really went back to fighting games after that. He has several friends, one in particular that's always trying to get him into fighting games, but for whatever reason he's just not taken to him. He sticks mostly to Souls like stuff. Although he plays Ratchet and Clank and Uncharted and stuff like that. Eighth, you have to go into your PS5 settings and unprivate it, and then uh, one of us would have to go to the site and ask it to pull a profile on you after you've unprivated. It's kind of a pain in the butt. And even then, I'm not sure how long it takes it to import it. Like I could type in Lord 8th and ask it to update you. And it says it's processing your trophies, but if you're private, it ain't going to see them. And again, I don't know how long it takes to get there. We'll see though. We got 30 minutes left. We'll see if we can go over eighths plats. Man, I've got an itch. It might be tomorrow before they're actually visible on here. I'm not sure. I mean, on PS5, you just go to settings, you go to users and accounts, go down to privacy, and choose view and customize your privacy settings, and scroll down to who can see your gaming history, and you have to set it to anyone. Below that, there's an option that says hide your games from other players. You and you select that option and you make sure that there's nothing on there that's switched to on. Oh shoot! Even after you change that privacy setting, eighth, you have to earn at least one new trophy before your stuff will start showing up on the website. It can be any trophy for PS3, PS4, PS5, PS Vita, but it's not going to start updating your profile until you earn a trophy after changing your settings. So this ain't going to happen tonight. Ain't going to happen tonight. That sucks. No big deal though. Do you know any of your subs personally? Uh, well, I mean, I know the retro guys like uh, Billy and Wood and 8-Bit Eric and Jay and all of them. That's about it. 16-Bit Pete, Jordan Fringe, although I don't know him as well as the others. Uh, yeah, mainly guys that I've met through the Game Chasers. That's mainly it. I mean, it says that it's processing eighths games and trophies, but I don't know how long that'll take. It could be tomorrow before those are visible. I don't know. I don't know. I just know it's not showing anything on there now. Probably not going to be there till tomorrow. What games are you playing? I'm actually, since eighth is playing Ratchet and Clank, I'm playing downloadable indie titles, and of course I've been playing Biomutant. A couple of indie recommendations. Crap, the names of them just one of them just hit PlayStation Network in the last couple of weeks. It's an 8-bit retro game. It's called Astalon, and it's 8-bit through and through. The graphics look like a Nintendo game. Music sounds like a Nintendo game, and it's got some roguelite elements to it. And you can change between 3 different characters in a mechanic that's almost like Castlevania 3, only you can't do it. It's instead of like picking between 2 or switching between 2 or whatnot, you have 3 characters. Each one have unique abilities, and you can only change up what character you're playing with by going to a rest area and switching characters there. So it's not like you can do it on the fly. And the way it works is it's like a Metroidvania. And in fact, it there are some Castlevania similarities there. And you're in this tower, and you have to try to make it to the top of the tower. And eventually you unlock an elevator that can take you up to the levels that you've been through before, but every time you die, it's going to start you all the way back at the entrance to the tower, and then all you have to do is run over to the elevator once you get the key to unlock the elevator, and you can skip going through the first level all the way over again and get up to the second floor, which is where I've made it to the second floor. I've beat one boss. And every time you die, all the gold that you've collected while you were playing, you can spend in a store run by the Angel of Death, and you can buy various items. So you can buy an increase to your health, an increase to the power and strength and defense or whatnot for your 3 characters. You can buy additional items that will help you out here and there, that kind of thing. And so it's a pretty addictive game. I mean, I started playing it earlier today, and it's pretty good. I really like it a lot. The other one that I started playing today, I can't remember the name of it now. It's called like Hunt Down or something like that. It's a 2D side scroller, 16-bit graphics, and you play a bounty hunter in a sort of Blade Runner-esque world. And it has a mechanic. It doesn't feel like it when you play it, but it borrows at least one mechanic from the Rolling Thunder series, in that you can actually duck into doorways to protect yourself and then step out of the doorway and shoot. And it's a lot of fun. And again, it's 16-bit looking graphics through and through. Looks like a really high-res Genesis game. And I like it a lot. And I think it's called The Hunt Down or something like that. It was on sale for $12. So those are the 2 that I've been playing. I picked up some other ones recently that I haven't gotten into yet. Like I picked up Owlboy. I picked up that one Eagles something or other that was published by Screenwave. And a couple of other ones here and there. Do I recommend Biomutant? Callum, it wasn't the fact that he was keeping specifically his trophies private. At the time, he was just trying to keep people to stop bugging the hell out of him. Do I recommend Biomutant? It's hard to say. I enjoyed it, but at the same time, it is kind of janky. The combat feels floaty. It works perfectly fine. It's very responsive, but there's no oomph to it. It's the only way I know to explain it. There's no oomph to the combat. You know, you can do a lot of really cool things, but you don't feel it. Uh, as far as the gameplay, it's like they took an open world Ubisoft game, mixed in some Ratchet and Clank third person animal combat, gun combat, with some, what's supposed to be Devil May Cry-ish hand to hand combat moves, but it doesn't really feel like that at all. Great big boss battles. Some of the boss battles are actually legitimately fun. There's a boss battle that you fight in a submarine against a giant turtle monster, and that boss fight was a lot of fun. So, I mean, if you like big open world games where you're doing a bunch of side quests and little mini missions and exploring for loot and that kind of thing, you'll like it, but it won't be the greatest one you've ever played. I don't think I'd pay $60 for it now that I've played it. I feel like it would be a good $30 title if you wanted to spend $30 on it. But I wouldn't spend more than that on it. All right, 8th is saying it works now, so let's see. PSN profile. Here we go. All right. 8th is a level 443 with 85 platinums. Let's see what his plats are. You ready? Here we go. Control. Neo 2. Minecraft. The Pathless. Far Cry New Dawn. Killing Floor 2. Demon Souls. That's the PS5 one. Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Astro's Playroom, Ghost of Tsushima. That's weird. Oh, Neo and Neo. No, he hasn't platted. He hasn't platted Neo yet. He hasn't platted Neo yet. But it says on here he's platted Neo 2 twice. Neo 2 is on this list twice. Oh, it says he started. Here's what happened. He platted it on PS4 and then he loaded it up on PS5. And when the PS5 upgrade hit, you get to double dip. If you've already platted a PS4 game and they make a PS5 version of it, when you load the game up on the PS5, it automatically plats you for the PS5 version. So you get the plat twice. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. Let's see here. Let's get back down. Demon Souls for PS5, Miles Morales, Astro's Playroom, Ghost of Tsushima, Neo 2 for PS4, River Bond, Infamous First Light, Concrete Genie, Daracene, which is a PSVR game, I think, Accounting Plus, which is a PSVR game, Borderlands 3, Marvel Spider-Man, Trevor Saves the Universe, which is a PSVR game, but you can play it outside of VR. Drive Girls, which is a Vita game. That is a game where you play little anime girls that can transform into cars like Transformers. Rage 2. Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Kingdom Hearts 3. Rocket League. He's 100%ed Doom VFR, but it doesn't have a plat. He's 100%ed Psychonauts in the Rhombus of Ruin, but it doesn't have a plat. Platted The American Dream, that's another VR game. Duke Nukem 3D. Astrobot Rescue Mission for PSVR. Neo. Bloodborne. Inksplosion. Midnight Deluxe. Super Destronaut. Midnight Deluxe again. Because he platted it on both PS4 and Vita. Super Destronaut again because he platted it on PS4 and Vita. Inksplosion again because he platted it for PS4 and Vita. 36 Fragments of Midnight, Infamous Second Son, Batman the Telltale series, Murdered Soul Suspect. I didn't even know he had that one. Doom. He platted Doom for PS4. The Surge. Resident Evil 7. Salt and Sanctuary. Dark Souls Remastered. Jack 2. Dante's Inferno for PS3. I did not know. No. Yes, he's platted that one. I did not know that he had gone back and platted that. He went back and platted that in June of 2018. I did not know this. Vampire. God of War for PS4. Goat Simulator, Job Simulator, Undertale, Puzzle Showdown, Energy Cycle, Horizon Zero Dawn. He platted Horizon. World of Nubla. He also has Mr. Masagi and My Name is Mayo. Borderlands 2, Dark Souls, Demon Souls for PS3, Dark Souls 2, Uncharted Drake's Fortune Remastered, Dark Souls 3, and now it's having to load. Adam's Venture, I have that one too. The Playroom VR. 100%ed Batman Arkham VR, but it does not have a plat. 100%ed The Park, which is kind of a horror game for PS4, but it doesn't have a plat. Uncharted 4, Ratchet and Clank for PS4. The Talos Principle, which is a puzzle game. Magus, which he went back on PS3 and got that one back in 2015. Tales from the Borderlands. Lego Dimensions. Wow, I did not know he actually finished that one. 100%ed Grow Home, but it don't have a plat. Lego Jurassic World. Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, Infamous 2, Ratchet Clank Into the Nexus, Wolfenstein The New Order, Lego Movie The Video Game, Little Big Planet 2, DMC Devil May Cry, Ni no Kuni, Phineas and Ferb, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Now we're getting into when he was a younger kid. Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, Megamind, and that's it. So, whole bunch of hard stuff, and then some easier stuff from when he was a younger kid. I haven't platted Neo on PS5. Right. Here's what happened with Ni no Kuni, Arius. 8th used to have a different account. And it was a non-public account. Didn't have a real username or anything on it. And he had played Ni no Kuni the hard way all the way through. Took him forever. And he realized by the time that he had finished that he had done it on the wrong account, that he hadn't done it on his Lord 8th account. And so I went and found an app that would allow you to save a save and convert the username on it. And I used it that one time so that he could transfer those trophies over to his main account. And when it did that, it popped up, all at once, and then he just finished the game out and platted it. That's what happened with Ni no Kuni. Is what it is. That's why it's generally not a good idea to have multiple PSN account or multiple PlayStation 3 accounts, because if you're not paying attention to what you're doing, you're not going to get the credit on your PSN score because they're going to be on the wrong thing. And back then, they had these little apps where if you could, a lot of the PlayStation games were locked where you couldn't save a save file outside of the system. But in this case, you could. And I went digging around and found this little mom and pop app, and I loaded up the save, changed the username on it, saved it, uploaded it to his PS3, and logged in as Lord Eighth. And the minute that I synced that thing, it copied all the trophies in and went do 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 do. So it's my fault. I was trying to do something good for him, and it made it look funky. Is what it is. But where are we at? We got 10 minutes left. Any other questions? We got 10 minutes, folks. 10 minutes. I'm glad that my other PS accounts are called dummy, so I can tell the difference. I don't even remember what that other account was called. It was like just some random thing that he had made when he uh, got his PS3, his own PS3, and it was like 8476U3 something or other. I don't remember. It was some weird account. And he had put all this work into it. He only had like a few trophies left that he had to earn or something. I think it was. And he he realized after he had invested like a shit ton of hours into it that crap, I didn't even do this on my Lord Eighth account. And me being me, I was like, I don't want him to have to play through that all over again. How can I fix this? And the downside to it is it makes it look funky. Took me 8 years to platinum Atelier Rorona on the PS3. Yeah, I've never tried to plat the Atelier games because I'd heard that they were very, very, very grindy. So I haven't bothered with those either myself. In fact, I haven't even spent a whole lot of time playing them. The main reason that I have them is because I wanted them for the collection because I thought they might end up being rare, but they didn't. Is what it is. It is what it is. So, you know. Oh, there are a lot of games that I own that I've never actually played. As you can see from my trophy score, there's tons of games that I own that I haven't ever gotten around to playing yet because you know, they're in my backlog. But the plus side to that is if I ever get to a point where I don't have a lot of money and I can't be going out and buying new games to play, I've got this massive backlog that I can play through, and I could play a new game every week for a couple few years without ever running out of something new to play. That's what you get when you have a 2,000 game collection. Is what it is. Ryza. I'm not sure I'm familiar with what Ryza is. Man, did we just lose all of our folks? Nobody's asking questions. I think I've bored everybody with just reading off my collection list and stuff. Oh, Atelier Ryza. I'm starting to save up for a PS5 because I'm going through my backlog and haven't bought anything too expensive. Mm. Oh. Well, having a hard time there. There we go. There we go. Just finished Mass Effect 1 on the Legendary Edition. What took me so long to get this trilogy? ME1 wasn't fantastic. Personally, I like ME2 better than ME1. Now they did improve Mass Effect 1 to make the controls and everything feel a little bit more like uh, ME2. So they did improve it with the Legendary Edition, but I still like ME2 better. It's just more fun to play. But that being said, I have the Legendary Edition, and I beat ME1 like a couple of weeks ago. I just didn't try to plat it. I just wanted to get through it, and I think I'm at like 30 or 40%, 44%, something like that. Played it on normal. I didn't play it on Nightmare or anything like that. Still need to platinum Memories of Celceta. I didn't plat it. Uh, I thought I'd beat it. That was my memory of it. But then I went back and found that the boss that I fought that I thought was the final boss wasn't actually the final boss, if I remember right. And it had been so long since I played it that I was like, I really don't want to get back into that one right now. And so I didn't. I've beaten Ys 8, but I haven't platted it. Well, like I said, to each their own. But I thought that ME2 was better. I like it better. It all just depends. I got the platinum for Ys 8 and Ys Origin. Wow, that's a lot of work. Do you have any plats that you gave up on? Matt Hazard on PS3. I got to 80 something percent, and there was a couple of collectibles that I had missed. And that game on PS3 suffers from a lot of lag once you get into the later levels. And it was just too much of a pain in the butt for me to go back into that game to try to get those last trophies. And plus, there was a trophy for beating it on the hardest difficulty, and it's not hard. It's just a slog. And I made it about halfway through it, and I just wasn't enjoying myself. I wasn't earning any more trophies because I had almost all of them, and so I wasn't. It wasn't giving me any sense of accomplishment. And I went to play something else and never went back to it. Plus, the very last fight of Matt Hazard on PS3 version is a total pain in the butt because the lag is so bad that it makes it almost impossible to play. That's one of the hardest wins that I've ever gotten on a PS3 game simply because of how bad the performance on the game is. The Cold Steel Platinums are a lot of work. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I mean, they're not impossible by any means, but there's just, you have to remember to talk to all these people and do all these tasks and make friends with these people, date that person. And all it takes is you not going and doing a bunch of optional stuff on your free days, and boom, you're going to have to replay the whole game to get the plat. It's a pain in the butt. I mean, if any of you are going to try to plat the Trails of Cold Steel games and you only want to play through it once, you don't want multiple playthroughs, go find a trophy guide, a trophy walkthrough, and follow it to the letter. Otherwise, you're going to miss things and you're not going to end up with the plat, and you're not going to feel like turning right around and starting the game over. And if you weren't making multiple saves while you were playing it, you're just screwed. Yeah, it does have a lot of busy work. Lots of busy work. Well, it's 9 o'clock. We are $20 short of the the 10 o'clock extension. So this is where we're going to have to part ways. Thank you to the two who donated. I appreciate it. And I will. I was fortunate that I didn't have to work tonight. That's why I've been missing a bunch of these, because we're understaffed and we're in our busy season. So I'm constantly having to cover on the weekends. And fortunately, this weekend I'm having to cover tomorrow instead of having to cover today. So I was able to stream, and I will try to do my best to be back this time next week. So be thinking of all the stuff that you want to ask me. And until then, I will see you. Same seventh time, same seventh channel.